Everyone says that deleting social media will make you happier, more productive, and less stressed. But will it actually? Well, we're about to find out, because over the next 7 days, I'm going full-scale phone social media detox. And I'm not even going to log in on my laptop. This thing right here is going to be less iPhone, more Nokia 3310. Only there's no Snake to play with. Not on the phone, anyway. Social media is a big part of my job, but it definitely doesn't need to consume my time as much as it does. My Instagram usage last week was 7 hours and 23 minutes. That's a long time. That's so long, in fact, that you could sit and start your Harry Potter marathon from the Philosopher's Stone, get all the way through to the Prisoner of Azkaban, right at the point where Harry realises that it was he himself who cast the Patronus to get rid of the Dementors in the Forbidden Forest to save himself and Sirius.
Expecto Patronum!
Essentially, in that time, I could have learned advanced wizardry. Instead, I just mindlessly scrolled reels. But data suggests that I'm not the only one with high screen time. On average, people around the world spend 4 hours a day on their mobile phones. And here in the UK, that number is 3 hours and 21 minutes, which is now more than the time we spend watching TV. So it's not just me that's a digital crackhead. We are all spending more time glued to our phones. But for me, it's not just about screen time. Instagram makes me feel like everyone is doing better than me. TikTok makes me feel, well, just old. I mean, why are adults dancing around like idiots for validation? And Twitter, well, the less said about Twitter, the better. It just makes me lose faith in humanity. But I've noticed doom scrolling creeping in a lot more recently. Sometimes I'm on Instagram for inspiration, for connection, for content creation, for entertainment purposes. But 9 times out of 10, I end up comparing myself and feeling worse. And that's a problem with social media, isn't it? We have served a highlights reel of other people's lives, and we think that that is reality. And then the comparison trap comes in, and then our brain generalizes that everything we see must be real and that must be happening for other people. And then the more we scroll, the more self-critical we get. At least that's what happens to me with social media anyway. So this week, I want to find out what happens when I just pull the plug, when I delete everything. No Instagram, no Facebook, no TikTok, no Twitter. Just WhatsApp for communication. This thing is essentially being swapped out for my dad's phone. Let's see what happens. But before we dive into my digital detox, let me hit you with some science behind the scroll. See, every time you do it, your brain releases a little bit of dopamine. That's the same stuff that gets released when you have chocolate, have a coffee, or, well, do other stuff. The average person scrolls 300 feet of content per day. That's the same height as the Statue of Liberty. We are literally scaling monuments of other people's breakfast photos and workout selfies. But here is where it gets properly mental. Your phone is literally like a slot machine in your pocket. Your brain doesn't know if the next scroll is going to be hilarious, depressing, or just someone else's boring lunch. And it's that uncertainty that keeps your dopamine firing like a machine gun. We are all just lab rats, scrolling away, pressing buttons, all for tiny hits of validation. Well, not for this week, I'm not. I'm using an app called ScreenZen to block myself on social media, and it's working a treat. It does give you the option to override for 15 minutes if I want to. So I'm a couple of days in, and what I've noticed so far is that I am still looking to go to the app on my phone. So I am still grabbing my phone, scrolling across my app on my menu to Instagram, and then remembering that I can't go in. There was also an occasion where I just wanted to kind of do a little search on someone and see what they were about, and then I remembered that I couldn't. But it's good so far. I'm enjoying the fact that I don't have to worry about posting anything on social media. I'm enjoying the fact that I can actually be a little bit more present. I don't have to worry about documenting everything on my phone to put up as a story about what's going on in my day, or don't have to worry about anything like posting any kind of content. So that's been nice, and it's a big kind of pressure relief. I actually use social media for a lot of things, not just mindlessly scrolling, but also to keep on track of what's going on in the world. I don't really watch news channels. I don't really read newspapers or anything like that. So a lot of the news that I find out about or I consume comes via social media. So a few things have happened this week that, because I've not been on social media, I've found out through other sources or through other means, whether it's on the radio or someone messaging me. And that is, I don't know, just a bit different. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but it's just something that I've noticed. This is something that's not unique to me. In the UK, the percentage of adults who use social media as a news source is now 52%, according to Ofcom's 2024 report. So I'm on day 7, and it's not really surprising, but I do feel a lot better. I feel a lot clearer. I feel less stressed isn't really the right word, but I don't have that feeling of that I'm not doing very well that I would normally have if I'd been on social media, particularly Instagram, scrolling for quite a while. So that's great. I kind of expected this to happen, to be honest. I kind of expected that a week off social media, I probably would feel better. So it's not come as a surprise to me. One thing that I know that is definitely good that I have noticed these last few days is I'm not actively going on my phone looking for the app anymore. So the first few days I was just scrolling mindlessly over to where the app is on my phone, on my home screen, and then remembering, oh yeah, it's locked, I can't go on it. So I've not been doing that this last couple of days, which is great. I'm interested to see what happens when I go back to being on social media, if I still maintain that same habit of not looking to scroll, or not looking to go there rather. But yeah, we'll see in the next few days, I think. So what did I learn from being off social media for a week? Well, honestly, I generally felt a lot better, but that doesn't really come as much of a surprise. I think that sometimes I use social media and I kind of put up this excuse that it's for work and I need to be on it for work. And sure, there were moments where I felt that my abstinence was hindering my growth. And of course, trying to grow an online business, you need to be online for it. But I've definitely realized that a lot of the time that I'm on it is me just procrastinating. And there's more better uses of my time, or there's better ways that I can utilize social media than just doom scrolling reels. So will I go back to it? Well, of course, because this YouTube channel isn't going to grow itself and I've got bills to pay. But I'm definitely going to be more mindful of my usage. And I'm going to try and be less zombie-like when it comes to scrolling Instagram. So would I recommend it to you? Absolutely. Especially if you find yourself doom scrolling or scrolling late at night when you really ought to be going to bed. Even if you don't give it up for a week, at least put one of those screen limiters on that limits your usage and kind of kicks you out when you've spent too long on there. You never know. You might end up having more conversations with people. You might read more books. It might be genuinely a really good thing for you. Try it and see how you go. I'd love to hear from you. If you love this video, then you'll probably really enjoy watching my last 7-day challenge, where I gave up sugar, sweeteners, and ultra-processed food for 7 days. It's somewhere around here. Give it a watch, and I'll see you in the next one.